Hey, hello everybody, welcome back. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. It means a lot. I appreciate. So I hope you guys stick to the whole video because you guys want to watch this video. It's the best build and my favorite for legendaries missions. So you guys know how on legendaries the NPCs are so aggressive, and also they can be super tanky and also super strong when it comes to damage. So with this build you can control the NPCs, and that way you can stop all of that aggression and make sure the missions go a lot easier. That way you guys don't die a lot with the NPCs aggressive behavior. Now also you have the bombardier drones, which are insanely annoying, right? They keep coming left and right so fast, right? You can disable them with this build. Not only that, you also have the enemy medics. When they put the medic support station down, that can be very annoying, right? Because it will keep on healing the NPCs. Guess what? With this build you also can disable that support station. Now, not only all of these things that I'm telling you about, this build has so much utility as a support type of build. With this build you can give your teammates damage, you can heal your teammates if you want to choose that, and also of course you're gonna be crowd controlling the NPCs to make it a lot easier for your teammates to kill them faster. So let me explain the build, right? Now let's go for the specialization, and here is going to be a obvious choice. This is the only specialization that I will recommend, and especially for this build is very important. Now we're gonna go with survivalist. Why survivalist? So a couple reasons. First one, we have this one, survivalist tactical link. Group members gain 10% bonus damage to target to status effect. What is this build about? Is status effect. You're gonna be putting your enemies on status effect, so you're gonna be giving your allies 10% bonus damage all the time, basically. We do also have the crunch time, which is while in cover gain 10% skill haste, which is very important for this build, so you can get your skills a lot faster. You do have an option of using the Seeker Mine Mender, because with the Seeker Mine you will get to heal your teammates, and it comes with 2 mods. And now why I'm saying the Seeker Mine, because the Seeker Mine actually, when used on this build, it can be crazy strong. Plus the survivalist specialization, right, comes with another bonus, which is this one right here, triage specialist, 15% increase outgoing healing. So it's gonna be a better heal for your teammates. So if you use the Mender Seeker Mine to heal your teammates instead of you, because they're doing the damage, so you're gonna be doing a lot more of a support teammate also. Right, besides that, we have also the incendiary grenades that will put your enemies on burn effect, which is more effective for the build. And also you need to use a lot of grenades on this build, because it will actually boost this build when using a grenade, and we'll explain that in a second. On top we have the elite defense, plus 10% increased protection from elite. Now this I believe only works with the yellow enemies, but still is something. And last but not least, we have this distributed repair. Armor kits repair over 5 seconds instead of like instantly, but also applied to group members within 20 meters. So again, this is just gonna support your teammates overall. It's gonna support the whole team with a lot of utilities, damage, and also the super important status effect of this build. So let's get into the build. So now this is gonna be the build, guys. This is gonna be a full 6-tier status effect build. Now right from the bat, you see I have mostly yellow, besides one thing right there that looks red, and I'll explain why. And that's the biggest reason I have not posted this video a long time ago, and I still don't get the perfect chest piece in there, but I'll explain why. And if I waited until I have the perfect one, I will never post this video, right? So let's go with it, and I'll explain to you guys what you have to do. Now for the brand sets, there is 4 type of brand sets I will choose on this build. So 2 Wyvern wares, 1 Honeydew, and also 1 golden gear. Now the reason why you want to go with 2 Wyvern wares, because of the second bonus that you get from equipping 2 Wyvern wares. So the first bonus is going to be 10% skill damage, and then the second bonus is going to be a 10% status effect. We need the status effect, we don't care about the skill damage, and Wyvern ware comes in handy with that, right? The core attribute always, and all of them, is going to be skill tier, and the attributes on any piece, and all of the piece is going to be status effect and skill haste. That's all you want. And then the mods, all of them is going to be also skill haste. Every single mod on this build skill haste, and we have 4 of them on this build. So the second weapon word is going to be on the knee pads, and we have this one with, again, skill tier, and then max skill haste and max status effect, which is a god roll. And then moving up for the gloves, we have the first Hanyu, and by equipping one Hanyu on the build, we have a 10% skill haste from the brand set itself. So it's very important piece of this build, because by equipping one, you get right from the bat what you need, one piece. The core attributes, you know, is going to be skill tier, and attributes, again, status effect and skill haste, we have max in there. Last but not least, for the last brand set that we need on this build is going to be the golden gear, and it's because with having a golden gear, you get 10% status effect right from the bat, from the bonus of the brand set itself. Now, this is the most or has been the hardest piece of this build, at least for me, because when it comes to golden, when you get one, it comes always with the core attribute armor. And so for this build, you need to have one, or you need to get one that has already attributes that you need and the talent that you need. There is 2 talents of choice in here that I'm gonna show you guys, but yeah, you need one that has attributes exactly what you need, which is status effect and skill haste, and then that you can take out that armor out of there to put skill tier. In my case, I have not found one better yet. This one has critical hit damage and 9% status effect. I put a mod in there with 10% skill haste. Now the talent for it, the first one and the one that I choose is gonna be trauma. I don't have the other talent yet, but I'll show you guys what you need. So the first one is trauma, applies blind to enemy hit on the head. Cooldown is 30 seconds, so that's good, it's more status effect. And then applies bleed to enemy hit in the chest, so the cooldown also is 30 seconds, so that's just more status effect on top of status effect, so it's very good for this build. Now the second option for this build is gonna be a talent called Overwatch. So Overwatch, after staying cover for 10 seconds, increase you and your ally total weapon and skill damage by 12% as long as you remain in cover. Or if you want to move, just use the cover mechanic and you don't lose that damage, because if you lose it, you're gonna have to stay on cover again for 10 seconds until you get it activated. Now with this talent here, you're gonna add more damage to your teammate, which is very good. Honestly, I probably would use this one the most instead of trauma, but trauma is not bad also, right? And like I said, this chest piece just been really tough to get. This is the best one that I have. I'm gonna have to go with it. If you can get one with Overwatch, probably will be the best option, because it will add some more damage to the team, and plus you actually need to stay in cover, because remember, from the specialization survivalist, you get 10% skill haste by staying cover, so you need to stay in cover. You are the status effect guy, you don't need to do much damage, right? So that's what it is. Now moving down for the holster, we have this one right here, which is a improvised holster. It's not a brand set, it's just a regular holster, but it's a yellow holster, and I'm gonna explain you why. So the way to find this holster is gonna be on your crafting station. You get the blueprint for it eventually by doing control points level 4. You go down in here, you will find the improvised holster, right? So with this holster, you get a utility mod slot. In here it shows 2, but I think you only get 1. So what's important about this is because you're gonna be able to add another mod on your build, which is going to be more skill haste. So another 10% or 11% skill haste, that's going to help your build, because you need a lot of skill haste on this build. Now in my case, I got one with skill haste, a 9.2% skill haste, and then I rolled a max status effect on it to make up for this build. And you see I have that mod right there, which is a 10.5% skill haste, because that's the only holster that I know that has a mod slot for utility, right? Now speaking of the luck, let's talk about last piece of this build, which is a exotic. So we have the Acosta Go backpack, and you know, if you have this, gonna make this build a lot better because of the talent it has. Now for the attributes, it has of course skill tier, skill haste, and skill damage. We put a mod in there to skill haste, and then the talent which makes this backpack so special for this build is gonna be 1 in hand. Throwing a grenade refunds it and grants +1 skill tier for 15 seconds. Now if you have a 6 skill tier, it will grant you overcharge. Overcharge is going to be very good because it's going to make all of those skills a lot better. Now, just so you have an idea how Overcharge is gonna affect this build, right now this is my Blinder Firefly, and I have a +6 max target, a +210 speed, and 120 blind duration. With the Overcharge, I'm gonna get a +10 max target, +250 speed, and 200% blind effect duration. So that's gonna make a lot better. For the Jammer Pulse, is going to be on a skill tier 6, +60% radius and +60% effect duration. But with the Overcharge, we get 150 radius, which is an insane amount compared to what we had before, and then 100% status effect and 100% charge speed. So that's crazy. That's just going to make this Jammer Pulse really, really good. Now, going back to the backpack, the second talent of it, or the second part of the talent, right, is 2 in back. So it gets you a +1 armor kit capacity, a +3 grenade capacity, +25 ammo capacity, +10% repair skills, and also a +10% status effect, right? So you see, a status effect also applies for this build, so it will help the build overall, because we're not gonna get it on the attributes, so might as well, you know, we get it down here. Still, it's very good for the build. Now, for going for the weapon of choice, we do have in here 2 rifles, right? The one is the Everlasting Gaze, which is a name MK17, right? It has the talent Perfect Perpetuation. Headshot grants +50% status effect damage and duration to the next status effect you apply. So that's the whole reason we use this rifle. But to be honest with you, I use this one the most, which is a M1A with the talent Vindictive. Killing an enemy with a status effect applied grants you and all allies within 15 meters, right, 15% critical chance and 15% critical damage for 20 seconds. So the M1A, you know, it hits hard, doesn't matter what build. So, you know, you will do a lot of damage. You're gonna help your team doing some damage, and also if you kill an enemy, you're gonna be giving the whole team more damage with crit chance and crit damage. So that's gonna just help your team overall. The attribute is gonna be rifle damage, critical damage, and damage to target out of cover. Now, last but not least, we have the 2 skills that I just showed, which is the Blinder Fly, which is the best one for this build. You have to have the Blinder Fly, I think, for this build, period, because it's gonna blind the whole enemies and have them stopped in there, so you guys can burst them down. I do have one with 22.5 seconds the cooldown, and then blind duration is gonna be 24.3 seconds of, you know, duration when they're gonna be blinded for, right? Now, the most important thing that you're gonna understand on this build, right, you need to get your cooldown, right? The cooldown timer is gonna be, it has to be lower than the duration, right? Because by the time the duration is up, you can have another blinder fight ready for you to throw out there. So the second skill I'm using is gonna be the Jammer Pulse, a cooldown of 14.3 seconds, and then a EMP effect duration of 15.1 seconds. So that's gonna be helping you stop those drones, those bombardier drones that comes at you, and also those medics that have the support station down. You can destroy those support station with this Jammer Pulse. When it comes to mods on the blind flight, I do have a skill haze mod in here, effect duration, you know, on this one, and then a +1 target. It's very simple. In the pulse, I have a radius and also a effect duration. That's basically the mods, and yeah, that's the whole build. But yeah, this build, it's very, very important. It helps the whole team on legendaries, makes the legendaries so much easier, and I cannot stress enough, you need one of these for the legendary missions. This is gonna make the legendaries doable, a lot faster, a lot easier, painless, and that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think of this build. Have you got one for yourself? What you think of mine? And yeah, let me know all of that in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hit me with that like, I would appreciate. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for more content, The Division, and more games to come, right? And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.